Some stories don't begin with blood, and they don't end with screams. They begin with something small, something harmless, a cheap item, a peaceful walk, a curious little adventure. But hidden behind these seemingly normal moments is something waiting, watching. And by the time you realize it, it's too late to turn back. These are 3 true stories. Experiences so unsettling, the people who lived through them still can't forget, even though they survived. Story 1. The Autumn Box. Some things look harmless until you realize they were a trap, and I fell right into it. October started with a cool breeze slipping through the window, that familiar, gentle autumn chill I loved. It was the first fall Carter, my boyfriend, and I spent together in our new home. I wanted to surprise him by decorating the house with cozy fall and Halloween items before he got back from work. I hit a few local stores, but something still felt missing, so I checked Facebook Marketplace. I typed fall decorations, and immediately a listing popped up. A large plastic bin filled with autumn decor, just $20. Strangely cheap. The description read, "Everything must go. Lots of stuff, moving out, quick sale." I clicked the seller's profile, a man named Cody. His profile picture showed only a cap covering half his face. The cover photo was a blurry lake. His account was mostly private, just a few posts, an old iPhone, some women's clothing, and Christmas decorations. I messaged him. He seen it instantly and replied, "Lots of good stuff. Lawn decor, table settings, even linens. You can pick it up tonight, 9 p.m. To be honest, the area he was in wasn't great, but I agreed anyway. Just in case, I asked my best friend Sally to come with me. At 9 p.m., we pulled up in front of a dark, quiet house. No cars in the driveway. A faint yellow glow came through drawn curtains. I texted, "I'm here." He replied, "Come in." The doors open. Sally and I exchanged a look, and then we saw the curtain shift slightly, like someone peeking out. No one came to greet us. No hello, just silence. I called out, "Cody?" No reply. We turned to leave. Then a man's voice came from behind. "I'm here. Come on in." He was only half visible through the cracked door, his face hidden in shadow. He waved us in. The feeling was wrong, but curiosity pushed us forward. We stepped inside and were hit by a stench, a mix of mothballs, rot, and something metallic that made me nauseous. He let us in. "It's in here, the box." His voice, low, dry, emotionless. The living room was dim and dusty, the carpet a faded red, the furniture old and unused. In the center, a red plastic bin with a green lid, completely different from the photo. "Go ahead, open it," he said, eyes cold. I hesitated. "Why don't you open it?" He smiled, a light, chilling smile. "You're no fun at all." Sally gripped my hand. We instinctively stepped back. He opened the lid, and the smell hit us, violent and foul. Inside wasn't decor. It was dirty cloth, tangled hair, and something like a scarf, soaked in brownish red. I whispered, "Go!" We ran, got in the car. As we pulled away, I glanced up at the second floor. There was a figure behind the curtain. Carter didn't believe me. He went back the next morning. An older woman, maybe 60, opened the door. She said she'd lived there alone for years. I showed Carter the messages from Cody. Same address. Property records confirmed. The house belonged to her. So who was Cody? Where was he that night? Inside her house? I never bought anything from a stranger's house again, because sometimes the lowest price is the one you'll never forget. Story 2. The Woman on the Trail. I didn't believe in omens until one stood in front of me, in the woods, staring at me with the eyes of someone I'd never met. but who seemed to know me. I was 22, fresh out of college, working a temporary job in Asheville, North Carolina. Living alone for the first time, I embraced the freedom by exploring the outdoors, hiking the endless forest trails and waterfalls in the region. One weekday morning in October, I visited DuPont State Forest. Being a weekday, I knew I'd have most of the area to myself. I started from the trailhead, walking into a path lined with golden leaves. The forest felt oddly silent, damp from recent rain, like it was holding its breath. After about 30 minutes, I stopped near Triple Falls to rest, and that's when I saw her, a woman, standing across the slope among wet trees, still, motionless, staring straight at me. I waved politely. She turned away and walked slowly into the forest. I didn't think much of it until I hiked up toward High Falls and saw her again. Closer this time, same posture, same stare. Not curious, but expectant. I looked down at my phone to fake being busy. When I looked up again, she was gone. I brushed it off. Probably just a hiker. But my unease grew when I reached the final bridge, and she stood there again. At the foot of it, facing me, I walked forward. "Excuse me." She turned and walked away, quickly, unnaturally fast for someone her age. She looked over 50. I didn't follow, just stood there, heart pounding. On the way back, I chatted with a woman walking her dog. I told her about the strange woman. She laughed. Weird, but kind of funny. I laughed too, but deep down, something felt wrong. That night, over beers, I told my girlfriend. She laughed and said I saw a forest ghost. I laughed along, but her eyes kept haunting me. At 2 a.m., I woke up, which never happened. I'm a deep sleeper, but something was standing at the foot of my bed. I opened my eyes, and she was there. That face, those eyes, no movement, no sound, just watching. I jumped up, turned on the lights, heart frozen. Nothing. No one. I called my dad. He said I probably had sleep paralysis. Maybe. But 2 days later, my mom called. My aunt in Germany had passed away, a woman I had never met, someone estranged from the family for over 25 years. My mom came home from the funeral with a prayer card. There was a photo. It was her, the woman from the trail, from my room. I had never seen her, but somehow she saw me first. I don't know what to call it, but since that day, I've never believed that encounters in the forest are just chance. Story 3. The figure in the basement. We only meant to bend the rules a little, explore an abandoned house for the thrill of it. Turns out, the only ones being played were us. Carlos and I had been best friends since childhood. We both lived in Brunswick, Georgia, a quiet coastal town that got dull fast once you hit your 20s. One October night, with Halloween energy in the air, we decided to stir things up a bit. Our plan? Break into the most infamous abandoned house in town, the one people whispered about, the one where someone had reportedly vanished years ago. We brought baseball bats, flashlights, and a couple of beers stuffed in a backpack, like we were prepping for a late-night camping trip, in the dark. The back door wasn't locked. Even weirder, the place didn't look vandalized. No broken windows, hardly any dust. There was even a lingering scent, stale cigarette smoke mixed with the sweet tang of burnt candles. I wandered the first floor, furniture old, worn, but it felt like someone had used it recently. Carlos went upstairs. I found myself in front of a door at the end of the hall, the basement. I went down slowly, the wooden stairs creaking under each step. Near the bottom, I switched off my flashlight. There was still light. 2 flickering candles behind a corner wall. I stepped past the divider, and then I saw it, a rocking chair, gently moving. Someone was sitting in it, facing away, a pale hand hanging lifelessly over the side. I froze. The air was thick, heavy, cold like stone. I backed away, step by step up the stairs, each creak louder than the last. Just as I reached the top, the lights below vanished. Total darkness. I ran, yelled for Carlos. No answer. I rushed upstairs, heart racing. "Carlos, we need to leave. Someone's in the basement." He stepped out from a room, face pale as a ghost, didn't say a word. We headed toward the stairs, and then, in the hallway, someone was standing at the basement door. Still, silent, just standing there. I screamed, "Go!" We bolted, rushed to the car, barely breathing as we peeled away from the street. In the rearview mirror, that figure was still standing in the road, watching. I don't know who they were or how long they'd lived in that house, but I do know this. That house wasn't abandoned because it was old. It was abandoned because people knew. No one ever truly leaves that place. Closing narration. 3 stories. 3 moments where the line between ordinary and terrifying vanished. You might laugh, you might think they're just tales, but tonight if you wake up and feel something watching you from the edge of your bed, remember, everything you just heard was real. And the scariest part isn't that it happened before, it's that it could happen again to anyone, at any time. Are you ready for the next story?